live stage at the Triple Crown Fireworks, and now the maker of all things fireworks, or one of the makers. We have to be fair, and I know you're always one of the first to jump in there and say it's a lot of makers. There's not one. But Alyson Morgenstern is one of the directors for the fireworks. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Thad.
Great to see you as always.
Good to see you.
And now we get knowledge about how does this even work? This thing's crazy.
It is crazy. We've got so many moving parts and so many different divisions that feed into other divisions, and it makes every game count to put teams that are like competition on the field against each other from top to bottom.
So you have the fireworks and the sparkler that Triple Crown Sports produces, and they each kind of bring their own element to this whole Colorado experience. But what's the crossover, the collaboration between those two events?
The crossover is our power pools and our supplemental power pools and our elite divisions. So it doesn't matter if you're registered in the fireworks or the sparkler tournament. If you're a top 100 team in the country or a top 150 team or even a top 200 team, there's going to be a place for you kind of in that common ground section between the power pools and the elite divisions.
And how many years have you been involved in this operation?
I've been with Triple Crown for 12 years. I started working on the sparkler in certain roles probably about 9 years ago, and since the fireworks has been here, I've been doing the tournament directing portion and the on-site running of it for about 4.
So if you look at the evolution of these events since the time you were first involved, what are the biggest changes, or and they can be your happy points, but what are the things that have evolved over time that really stick out in your mind?
I think the thing that sticks out in my mind is making it kind of one big event that has moving pieces instead of 2 separate events. We still have the invitational piece of the fireworks brackets and the fireworks tournament name, but really kind of bringing everything together for one Colorado 4th of July finish under the Triple Crown name is what has been the best part about being involved with this event. I
know you kind of lay low on this. Most of your staff lays low on this, but as far as who you played for, where you played, because now you're an advocate for everybody. You represent everybody. There's really truly no favoritism in this situation. However, every human's a human. They've got their background.
Yes.
So you and most others who are involved in this didn't just stumble into this after working in textiles and things like that.
Correct.
Part of the game was where you started, and now the game is where you work.
The game is where I work. I actually started coming to this tournament with my team, the Southern California Athletics, a long time ago. I'm not going to say how long ago. Moved to Colorado because I went to Colorado State and played softball there. And actually, I kind of want to touch on our staff. The staff that we have 39 staffers with the fireworks tournament. The females that are on the staff, we've got people that played at University of South Carolina. We've got Colby, Kansas Community College. We've got Regis University, and we've got Nebraska and things like that. So we've got a lot of talent that just went to other places. They played here. They want to work here. They want to be a part of it, and they come back. And it's great.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were talking a little bit yesterday over at Christopher Fields in Westminster on the sparkler side of things, and talking about with a couple of different coaches about everybody talks about we're trying to build. This ends for everybody. We're trying to build to something else, build character, build work ethic, and all those things. So for young players who are here playing, and they don't want to think about the end of their playing days, but some of them already are. They're realizing, hey, I want to think about a major. I want to think about a profession. And there really are some great opportunities for players, but you got to be pretty good to get on a staff like this, because there's a huge community involved in this, and a lot of people pointing their arrows toward this.
Absolutely, and we do so many things around the country that's how we've actually gotten hooked up with the people from South Carolina. I mean, we've got somebody that was born and raised in Chesterfield, South Carolina, played for a Carolina team, didn't really come out here, but just loves the game so much and got hooked up with us through an event that we run in South Carolina. So when players are going to college and getting their degrees, we want them to develop those work ethic skills and come back and really put them to use. And this is a great opportunity for them to get internship hours or just any work experience whatsoever around a sport that is just amazing that they love.
The fireworks portion of this giant Colorado gathering, invitation-based. So it's not just a walk up and get in, but you still have to tell your story. So in the off season, as you're talking to invitation teams, and you try to capture the spirit of this from to tell a team why they would do this. What do you say? How do you summarize it?
Well, we tell teams that for our different pieces, we've got our U.S. club rankings, so we look at how you've done over the past few years if you're an 18-under team, and kind of look at where you're going. So the reputations that are built by the teams that come here year after year, we take those into account. But if we've got some new teams on the scene, if they tell us about other events that they've played in, if they've, from the Southeast and they don't have to travel much and they haven't come out to Colorado, what do you do locally? What college coaches you're looking at your kids right now? And a big one is, if you get a college coach in your area to give you a glowing recommendation and things like that, that's going to help us a lot because we do trust college coaches in their evaluation of talent.
I'll put you on the spot. We didn't talk about this before we came on here, but if you flash through your years of standing here watching these ball fields play out in front of you, and I know sometimes you're kind of pinned on the beat. There are 3 pods here, A pod, B pod, C pod, 4 fields on each, so I know you're not seeing all 12 fields all the time.
Right.
But if you reflect back over the years and you think about the different players you've seen come through here, what springs to mind, or coaches, or just what are your memories of what's happened here?
The memories are they're actually pretty amazing because we've seen All-Americans, we've seen gold medalists, we've seen coaches that have won national titles, we've seen coaches that are actually former Olympians and things like that. It's just amazing to see the talent, and every year you want to look out on the field and you say that kid's going to do this or that kid's going to do that, and you just want to keep following them and keep checking up on them, especially when they're just great kids that have a love for the game. You know that they're going to go far and you just don't know how far.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago we're over here doing a game and TV game, and we've camera shooting along. I'm looking at the monitor, and freshly minted national champion Patty Gasso from Oklahoma is just sitting there, and it is just funny. You got kids running around the park who are just getting started in the game, and they wouldn't recognize. They walk by. If they heard her name, they probably know. But it's just the mingling, the commingling of the highest, and it's really real. The highest level of the game to the very beginnings of the game, the youngest players of the game. It really all is right here, and it's pretty fun to watch that chemistry happen.
It is. We're about ready to do a 14U Power Pool TV game, and it is usually one of the best, most competitive games. It's always close, comes down to the wire. So seeing the difference between the 14U and the 16U and then the 18U, they're all at different points, but all kind of heading in the same direction. And it's just amazing. And you do see coaches just walking around and, everybody, can I get a picture with you? Can I get a picture? And it's great. And the coaches love it because they're recognized. And it's just a great atmosphere when, you have so many people who love softball and softball. And there's a great community out there that appreciate all those coaches and what they can do.
Yeah, that 14U Power Pool game, that's always one of those, you watch it. And I think the best thing you can do for perspective is go down to your local swimming pool and look at a bunch of 14-year-olds or wherever they gather, wherever you might find 14-year-olds. Get that fresh in mind, then go watch, because you always forget how young those players are when you watch that game.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of start, at almost, maybe not quite college level, but just looking at some of the execution, some of the pitching. Some small colleges would have a hard time beating some of those teams. There's some really high talent.
They're very talented, and you do forget how young they are. You see how well they control themselves, how well they know the game. But then you see them filling out their bio sheets, and
right.
They're talking back and forth. What'd you put for your favorite food?
Yeah.
And you're just like hearing the weirdest comments.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's part of the beauty of this is watching this all go from. But it goes fast. These next thing you know, these are the kids you're hearing on rosters that are playing in Oklahoma City at the end of the year. So.
Absolutely, and we've had quite a few people go through our Futures game, the Future Stars game that was last night at the Christopher Complex. We had quite a few people that ended up on an All-American roster with a national championship attached to their name. It's just amazing to see that happen.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go back and get chained to your table back there and get back to work, anything we didn't talk about with the fireworks that you want to make sure we touch on?
Actually, we are doing, for the second time, we're doing a military game. It's a veterans game is what we're calling it, and it's military appreciation. So all the umpires are former veteran or retired veterans. We do kind of honor people every half inning. We've got teams that submits people that should be honored in this whole thing. And we're right around the 4th of July, so it's just a great time to get a little patriotic and thank veterans out there. It's a great vibe over there. It's actually going to be going on at 7 o'clock during the 16U Power Pool game. So we just want to add to the vibe and just kind of keep that cranking.
Good. Yeah, it's always an entertaining and touching portion of the
Absolutely.
the flow.
And it's the Texas Bombers and the Firecrackers that give us teams to have that game and allow us the time to do that. So
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Alyson Morgenstern, one of the directors of the Triple Crown Fireworks. Good luck with the rest of the run here.
Thank you.